Hello, everybody. This is Angie, and this is the Saturday Human Colony Hucolo webinar. We're here with our wonderful James Charles. Love him to pieces. And welcome, Jim.
Thank you. Love you to pieces too.
Okay, we have several announcements. The first announcement that I want to make is that United States is going to daylight savings time tomorrow. If you've got a session with Jim, please make sure you are checking your schedule to make sure that the alignment of your session time matches the new daylight savings time. Jim, would you like to say anything on that?
It should in the United States if you're within the United States, but if you're outside of the United States, it will probably be different.
Right. So we're just asking so that your sessions with Jim and
Yeah,
even
just
if
double check.
anyone else that you have, we are doing daylight savings time tomorrow. We have our channeling class scheduled for Sunday, May 26th, 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know, Eastern Daylight Savings Standard Time. It's one of those. It's the EDT, EST, one of those. It is 1:30 to 5:30. The cost is $150. That channeling class is going to encompass multiple levels of instruction. If you're interested, classes at hucolo.org. The consciousness class is scheduled for Saturday, June 8th, 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. That consciousness class is going to encompass, as a community, we're really growing spiritually in the mind and in all of our expansion of who we are. This consciousness class is going to touch on the aspects of really expanding our mind, expanding our consciousness, and helping us to really be in a greater place as the light workers that we are going to be. We have, if you're interested in that. Now, with that, we've already done consciousness level 1 and consciousness level 2. If you are interested in purchasing those classes, they are going to be offered at a discounted rate. So the consciousness class that's coming up in June, on June 8th, will be level 3. Jim, would you like to talk a little bit about the consciousness class at all?
This consciousness class is going to consist of greater information about the radiant being, about the extension of the body into nature, things of that nature that have not been discussed before, but are all part of a soul level consciousness. And it is learning how to use that in a way that is very powerful and expansive. So, I know this class will be taught by Gurnani, who is from Sirius B, and it's going to be a very interesting class. A lot of the information is already downloaded, shall we say, but she is going to bring it forth.
Thank you. The last announcement we have our gathering scheduled for August 8th, 2024, and our wonderful friend Rob Gothier is going to be there. Krishna Priya, Will, Jim, myself, a lot of wonderful coming together, like minds and energies, and we are looking forward to having so many people join us. I just realized today that August 8th, 2024 is an 888 day, and the energies on that day are going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. A lot of good information is going to come out that day.
Very good.
Jim, would you like to say anything about our gathering?
The gathering is going to be amazing, I believe, but I want to actually just meet more people from the community. I want to share thoughts together. I want to share ideas and oneness ideas and how we can move forward in our lives to affect other lives and to bring them into a consciousness level that is necessary for this planet to survive.
as we do come together as a community, we haven't done, we've done several workshops before, but nothing really truly as a gathering. And I think that this gathering is going to be unique and unlike any of the other gatherings. I'm really very, very excited for this. So, all right, with that, let's move on to blessings. I've got Barb Maples, Michael, Michelle, and Susan ready for blessings.
Tatakakisi ni no toata. Ki sahata sikini atusho. Ki hamana ki ato. Hana ki si aso. Ki na hashua. Ki pa wahia takania. Tuasa ia sokosho. Pati ziatokoshina. Hati aso osho. Kia haka hata tikia pakashiata hoata. Namaste.
The violet ray is becoming much more powerful in this age. As mankind rises, they are being more exposed to the higher frequencies of the universe. These higher frequencies of the universe are meant to be felt and meant to be understood by humanity. Even though mankind may not think of itself as a place or an awareness that is able to do so, it is able with the help of God. You must immerse yourself in God so that you can find the violet ray in the way that it is meant to be seen.
Yeah, this one's from Father God. Tia koronira kata, ia korodoro diada, tia koron dia nirogodoro, oroho oria karata, tia koronira katara doro dorota, dia koronira katara doro dorodo, ore kiada, ihia gorodo aniraka, iharaka diada, tia korodo. Namaste.
My children, I love thee with all of my beingness, because you are of my beingness. We are working together always. I am part of everything that is. I am part of everything you are. And you must find me within. You must grow me from within. For the age of looking out into space for God is over. But the time to look inward for God is now, because I am more aware of you, you are more aware of me, and we must grow together if we are meant to be powerful beings in this realm. I am looking for leaders and friends. I am not looking for servants.
Right. He sika ia tutua ia sia o. Ha sia tia ria tia sukuia titia kua ia sia titia usa. Ha si tutua ia si tia o kutia ia titia o sia. Hi tia sia o tuia sikia. Blessings.
There is a realm of understanding beyond the understanding of this one. And so, in order to find that realm, you must go deep inside and then spread out. Remember that you are connected to all things and all beings. You are connected to the love of God, and it is within you, and you must find it and grow it as a beautiful seed into a flower. It is time for all of us to look at ourselves and see the God within.
And Michael, you finish.
Ula teke o samatai o lutai o makea o laia e su kaya te o laia hai hu I o ai se to hala hui ya maya kai say to you blessings.
There are so many things that mankind does not understand, but that mankind will understand. Reach in, give yourself to God, for in that effort of giving yourself to God, you will become one with Him and one with all things in the universe. Remember that God is not out there, but within. It is time for everyone to look for Him inside so that they can expand Him into the universe as the universe is reaching out to become part of you at some point.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We have several requests. We have Elijah, Pele, Nefertiti, Ra, Hermes, Consciousness of the Sphinx, Anastasia the Unicorn, and the Orion Council.
Very good.
Oh, I also requested Mary Magdalene in the chat, please.
I didn't see that. Thank you. Mary Magdalene.
Thank you.
Mary
All right, very good.
Magdalene.
Excellent. We'll see who comes. I think Elijah will come first, but the thing is, I want everyone to think good thoughts and enjoy the sessions.
Yes.
Prepare your questions.
Remember, we are asking just to do a 2-question maximum.
Greetings. I am Elijah. Today, I have learned that God wants me to speak to you about how much He loves you and how much He cares about you. And you say, well, we already know that. We already see and feel that. But do you really? He is extending Himself into you. He is extending His thought process throughout this land. And He is not actually becoming active with the will of man because the will of man is free. But He is also asking that you bring Him in so that He can help you. There really is no free will without God. There really is no free will without God. Keep that in mind. He gives you the free will that you are looking for. He gives you that greater energy that you need. He breaks through the normal patterns of this world. He breaks through what is considered the darkness, and He can break through all of your dismay and turmoil. It is time for you to understand that you are not alone, and that you, even though you may feel alone and act like you are alone, God is there for you to take hold of. He is wanting to work with you. He is wanting to be with you. He is wanting to understand your needs and hopes and desires. But without bringing Him in fully, without asking Him to come and be part of your life every day, how can He do that? You say, I've tried to do that and I don't feel Him. I don't understand Him. I don't know what He is doing, but that is all right. He is there nevertheless. You cannot give up on Him, for He does not give up on you, and He never will. And I pray that you will never give up on Him as well. Keep Him close by, and you will realize that life is greater than what you can see with human eyes, because God is greater than human, but He is in all things. May your love grow and become greater so that the world can see the light shining out through you. through all the parts of you that are able to shine the light of God. Your radiant being is important. And you say, what is that? And I say, the radiant being is the portion of you that glows whenever your consciousness is aware that it is moving forward into the universe. Thank you. Hello? Oh, I came back. I came back. Somebody else wants to come in. All right, just a moment.
Thank you.
We are the Orion Council. Someone has called us.
Yes, good morning. Susan has requested you today.
Very well. Questions?
Yes. Thank you for coming. So I know that I had an Egyptian lifetime as a man named Ramses, not the Ramses, but I was like a treaty council writer for the Orion Council at that time during the Orion Wars. Um, and I'm just wondering, have I been involved in the council during like my astral travels, during my dream time? Am I still involved with the Orion Council? Or also, what have you been up to as far as assisting humanity and Gaia with the ascension process of the changes upon the earth?
Well, there are many things. There's many questions there and
Yeah.
many things to
It's more
discuss.
about my involvement with the Orion Council, like in the now moment, I guess, and then also what have you been doing for the planetary changes going on now?
Yes, the council has been working on the a planetary level many times. We are back in charge of the stargates. We are doing work with the different things of getting them into good order. The Pleiadians are very busy with other things in the ascension process, but we are here to take care of the grids and the stargates at this time, and they are in good order, and they will all be running by 2030, I believe. So also we are interacting in this world in the sense that we are giving advice, we are giving a little help, but what is to be understood by humans at this time from the Orion Council is that we will not be involved in your culture in any way. We do not wish to do that, and we do not wish to be part of any part of your world in the sense that it is going to be interfering. Your involvement with the Orion Council is that you sit on the council. Your involvement with the Orion Council is that you are part of a necessary part of what is being brought forth into this realm to clear up some of the misinformation that is going around the world from other channels and from other religions and beings and things of this nature. The clearness of the message is this: you are to be of God, and you are not supposed to be tangled in anything except God. It is that there is many of you that are tangled in religions, or some of you that are. And as you are tangled in these religions, you are not growing. You are stuck. You are trying to find your way to the light. And as you are trying to find your way to the light, you must understand that the light is right there and that it is not an entangled mess, but it is free and it is clear and it is bright. And just accept it for how it is and don't worry about all the other confusion and conflicts that are around it. Just accept it for what it is.
That is beautifully said. Thank you very much for
You're
coming.
welcome.
Michelle has a question.
Very well.
Greetings. Thank you for being here today.
You are welcome.
Thank you. My question is, what is your recommendation for all of us in helping others to release the religious dogma that has been indoctrinated into humanity?
That is a good question, because the dogmas of religion are something of the past at this point. They are something that are actually dying out because people are not being fed the light. They are not being fed the love of God. They are finding that they are stagnated in this realm, and so they are leaving it. They are looking for something better, something more real than these rules and regulations and dogma and things that are not part of the what humans really need to hear for growth or edification. They are looking for other ways, and that is why enlightenment is happening, is because those, or at least many of those that have left churches, left these kinds of dead establishments, are looking for a new spiritual life. And that new spiritual life can come because if they believe in the Spirit, if they know God is real, then they can find him within and they can work with him. As they give themselves over to him, he will give himself over to you. You will become one and work together in a way that you cannot imagine. For humanity is made to be greater than it appears to be. Humanity is a greater part of the universe than you might think. There are humans all over the universe, and they're doing their things to do what they can to make the world see that they need to wake up. These are not kind actions necessarily, but they are actions that will wake people up and make them struggle and strive for the truth. And that is what is happening with humans outside of your realm. They want you to wake up. They want you to be aware. They want you to know the truth about how to get to where you need to be.
Thank you. What is my connection with the Orion Council? I don't really feel a strong tie to the Orion Council, but I think there might be a connection somehow.
There is a connection. Let me tell you what that is. You go occasionally because you are one of the ones they call on for debriefing, meaning that you tell them what your life is like, what troubles you are going through, how you feel, what is happening in your world. They call on many humans to give descriptions of how they are living, what their spiritual lives are, and how they are growing. And each and every individual that speaks at the Orion Council is noted because they are trying to find ways, as the Orion Council, as we are, to fix some of these thought processes, fix some of these problems by interacting with the thought processes of mankind, not interacting with them culturally or anything of that nature or on the planet, even though there are many Orions on the planet. We don't interact that way with humans to change them, but we do interact with your consciousness to bring forth something of power and of majesty and of greater understanding to you so that you start to realize your greatness in the universe and your greatness in the eyes of God.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My question to you is, one, could we have your name?
Crenda.
Crenda. Thank you very much. My question is, I know that right now on our planet, there is a lot of activations within the pyramids, not just pyramids that we see and are aware of, but there are
Correct.
pyramids that are also below ground or in an existence where we can't see them, that
Correct.
they are there, but they are actually working very diligently with our planet. Could you speak about how the pyramids on our planet are really starting to come vibrationally together, or as to help us as a humanity?
The pyramids were once used in many different ways. Crystals were added to them, different things, technology added to pyramids that would make them into transporters or communication devices, or even help with their water, clearing the water subterraneanly so that they could have a good water source. There was many different things, and it also helped refuel some of the ships, and it was also they were also landing sites. Also, the ones that are underground are power like batteries. They store energy and they store it well. And it is like they have a lot of energy stored. They could probably keep your cities in light for many, many years. But they are working together now because there is a need for that energy to come forth, a need for the understanding of what the pyramids were truly like to come forth again. Now, as people are reading, scientists are reading, and archaeologists are reading what is written on the sides of the pyramids, they had misunderstood in the beginning what these pyramids were actually trying to say to mankind. And now they are starting to understand the messages coming from the pyramids are very futuristic instead of just very nonsensical or past life or past thought processes, but also the Sumerian tablets and things of that nature that have been deciphered and read are having new meaning now because they are reading them differently. They're looking at them as pieces of actual history and law and science. The Sumerian tablets are filled with science and filled with ways and means to communicate with other worlds, the ways to build spaceships and starcraft, the way to transport people from one place to another. They are looking at technology that was written down many thousands of years ago, and there's instead of misunderstanding those writings now, they're starting to see that they are actually true science. And because they are now starting to understand the science that these cuneiform tablets are speaking about.
Would you also say that the appropriate people are getting the downloads to understand what these words are truly saying?
Yes.
Thank you. Safira has a question. Go ahead, Safira.
Thank you, Angie. Hello. I
Greetings.
just Thank you. I decided I have to clear something up for myself. So I was told by another alien that I was a Orion commander. I also saw myself in that uniform, but that I came to Earth to be part of a peace treaty signing between Orion Pleiadian and the Pleiadians. So my question is, um, I'm doubting if all that's true because um, I'm married to a Mayan, and I don't see how I could be married to a Mayan if I was a Orion commander who has a lot of blood on my hands from having killed who knows how many people. I don't understand that. And how much karma, if that's true that I was the commander and I did kill a lot of people during war, how much karma does that bring into my life now?
It depends. I am not a judge of karma, but I can tell you this. The reasonings behind all these things that you speak about is very important. The intent might have been a very good one. It might have been an intent to clear the world of evil or the universe of evil. It might have been an intent to bring forth greater understanding for someone was blocking it. It might be something of a greater nature than you can possibly understand. But yes, peace treaties are always very beautiful and possible. And you have been part of some of these things as an Orion chief, I would say. I can understand that you were in the Orion realm. I can see that uniform on you now as I look at you. And you were also someone that was in the council at one time. Now, you came to this planet to work some things out with that treaty. Not that you originally started it or signed it at the beginning, but this treaty was being questioned in many places, and it needed to be upgraded. And so that is what you did. You upgraded the treaty understandings.
So being married to a Mayan and having fought the Mayans at some point, does that make any sense? Was that
Oh,
sanctioned
remember
or
this. You are
yeah.
in different places all at once. You live many lives all at once, and you can be Pleiadian, Orion, Arcturian, human, all at once. It does not matter when you were doing this. You can have many different lives in many different places, and they can all be very positive, and they can all be very understanding and teach you things that you cannot understand from an earthly perspective. Remember that Orions are much different than Mayans and Pleiadians, and they are also very different from humans. But you are all of these things, and everyone here has many different lives and many different cultures and many different lands and scapes. So it is that as you move forward in your life, you realize that all is happening at once. Time is all together.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're
Don
welcome.
has a question.
Hello, greetings. I see that you had some Mayan temples located in the Grand Canyon. Can you
Yes.
explain about that temple, please?
That temple in the Grand Canyon was there to celebrate the Grand Canyon in a sense, because it was a work of great power that the Grand Canyon was created. And so that is a place of worship, a sacred spot, a place where you come and find your connection to nature, your connection to God, because it is a powerful impression. It is a powerful place to feel your radiant being, to feel your shoots of energy and light. It is a place of great consciousness, a great amount of meditation has gone on there.
Thank you. I have one last question for you, sir.
Yes.
The there's also Egyptian temples located in the Grand Canyon, and were they destroyed in the Orion Wars, please?
Some of them were, and some of them were not. The thing is about these temples is they're no longer being used, but they are there as a past significance, a past thought process and historical value. So, but yes, some of these temples were destroyed in the Orion Wars, as were many places around the planet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. Could you just elaborate a little bit on what was the reason for the Orion Wars and why it came to Earth?
The Orion Wars were fought all over the place, actually. And when you see, Orions came to this Earth to escape from a lot of the people that were coming to the Earth were trying to escape this war, were high officials and people of importance that did not want to be in or part of the war in other planets in the Orion area that were warring. And so, as Earth was a respite, or it was a safe place or a safe haven, they discovered that these people were here and they started to fight them. They started to believe that Orions, which they were all over the planet, were trying to create a defense or an offense for Orion beings. And so as they see this as an offense as well as a defense, they started to destroy the planet in the sense that they didn't want those people to have what they were trying to do. And the thing is, they were not really trying to be that offensive. They were trying to actually protect themselves more. So it was interesting that the Orion Wars, which our species was part of, took it in such a primitive way. We have learned better now.
Thank you so much for that. Michael has a question.
Greetings. I
Greetings.
just want to clarify what I've understood over the years. So the Orions had the reptilians and zetas and probably other species in it and fought the beginning of what was the planet Lyra, where humanoids were, where it lasted so many years to where the planet was, where both parties just kind of just gave up because there was so many souls that were lost and the planet was destroyed. Is that correct?
The planet Lyra was destroyed by reptilians, yes. We did not have anything to do with that. The reptilians were jealous of the way that the Lyrans were so peaceful, so happy, and so war-free. They were jealous and thought that God was treating that planet better than they were treating them. And so their jealousy created an offense against Lyran people. And the Lyran people were not ready for what happened, but they were able to escape, many of them, before the planet was destroyed. Now, the Orion Wars out there, the reptilians and greys and all those things were fighting for many hundreds of years, yes, because they were trying to claim planets that they claimed were already theirs. There were certain planets that were very rich in minerals and uraniums and radioactive substances that were needed for their ships and for their work. And as they discovered that more than one beings or species were on some of these planets, they were fighting over the planet because they were saying that they already claimed it and that they were trying to usurp an authority over them and bring all that good ore and radioactivity to themselves. So there are several different planets of this nature, because once one civilization makes a claim on a planet, does not necessarily mean it's their planet. They have to go through political and governmental adjustments to claim it. And so if they do not do that, and they do not follow the laws on how to claim a planet for themselves, then it's up for grabs. And in more than one situation, this is what happened, is that they claimed a planet but never went through the formalities of claiming it.
Okay. And one last question, switching gears on you. Could you see if I'm on the right path in life, if things are going to get better?
The right path in life is something that is not obvious. Let me tell you what I mean. The right path in life is the right path for you, your highest excitement, the things that make you the happiest, the way that you become enlightened, the way that fulfills you and brings out the light within you. This is the right path. If you feel that you are on the right path, it is only you that know that. No one else can know that. You are part of the all and everything. And as you become part of that all and everything in a very real way, then you know that you are part of God's divine nature and God's divine will and God's divine beingness. And so as you are moving forward, you will let go of all the negativity that you know is not for you, and your path will become brighter. Your path will become more aware, but no one will see it as clearly as you. And if you cannot see your path clearly, then you are not on the right path.
Thank you so much. Blessings.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and take a couple YouTube questions. Can you tell us what is the future of career life in 2027 to 2020, 2030? Meaning, like, will we require degrees, degrees in the sense of going to colleges and establishing that, or is it going to be something different? Do you have any idea, or what can you see on that?
Yes, the future is similar to the present at this time. That is a very near future, and so it's going to be very similar in many ways. There will be differences. There will be changes in curriculum and thought process. There will be higher understanding areas. There will come uh, colleges coming up that will be more spiritual in their nature, meaning that they will teach the ways of spirit and how to move in the spirit and how to create a greater understanding of the body, the mind, the soul, and the spirit, and realizing that all these are connected and work as one is going to be part of that curriculum. But yes, you still will go to college and get degrees, but it will be less necessary in some ways.
Thank you so much for that. How was the first Indus Valley civilization? How old, that the question is, how old was the very first Valley civilization? Can we even guess? 100,000, 50,000 years? Are there any physical remains that can be found? And how many years ago was the civilization Rama Hanaman?
Ramapanaman. That was many thousands of years ago. I not being aware of your history that closely, I would say that it was probably 20,000 years ago, which is actually sooner than many people would think, but it was a very ancient civilization there. There are civilizations on your planet that do go back hundreds of thousands of years because there were many people here at the very beginning. There were people here that was seeding the planet. There were people here that were checking the planet for minerals and for ores. And so it is that many different species have looked at this planet because it's wealthy in many different things. So it was already mined many times before your civilization actually came into being.
Thank you so much for that. Mary has a question.
Yes?
Greetings.
Greetings.
Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
I have a question about spiritual help. I was thinking for spiritual help. I am being a full-time caregiver in the latter days of my husband currently,
Yes.
and I'm having some hard issues, and I am looking to you for some wisdom and help, please.
Yes.
It's hard for me to explain, but I pray that my God will show you what I need to help me to do the right thing, to help me to help myself, to help me to help him when the time comes to cross.
Yes. He is holding back on crossing. He is afraid of the darkness, but he will be surprised to learn that his soul will not pass into complete darkness. It will change. He will find that there will be some things that must be accounted for, but these things will bring him to a clarity that he has not ever had before. The thing is, this fear that keeps him alive will have to pass. And it has to pass quickly. Otherwise, it will damage everyone around him. And I think it already is.
Yes.
So, my advice to you, if that is the right word, my advice to you is to talk to him about his fears. If he will speak to you about anything, do you have conversations with him at all?
Very little. He likes for me to talk to him. I talk to him about death. He listens to me I tell him about crossing over, and that it's not what I said. It's not what I told him, that it wasn't what he thought it would be. And I was giving him from my heart what I knew that God showed me what crossing over would be, that it would be, that we do face our consequences. We do have a life review. I did explain that to him. I
Good.
said, but we also are given a chance to change, to make things better in the afterlife as well.
It is time then to speak to him about his life, and that this life has no more room to grow,
No.
that this life has no more meaning because he cannot do anything in this life. That his life may be there just to teach you some ways to care about people in even deeper ways than you can understand. But as you are moving forward, understanding these different lessons that have been learned by him, from him in your entire life, which have been pretty rough, I would imagine,
Yes.
it it is time for him to let go of this life. It's not about death. It's about moving on to another place. It's not about losing yourself. It's about moving on to another existence, another lifetime, another awareness. I will speak to him myself.
Thank you so much. May I ask quickly? He is so attracted. Sometimes I will sing a spiritual song, and there are only a few that he really likes. And sometimes I will put them on the computer, and he loves them. And his hand will grab my hand. And I can tell that resonates. Not many things resonate with him, but that really resonates. The music does.
Music is a vibration of the being, the soul, everything around. When music is playing, it affects the atmosphere. It affects everything that is in the room, including the people that are there. The vibration of the music creates a calmness or sensitivity, or it can cause the opposite. It can cause rampage and rebellion. But music is a way of language. It speaks in many ways to people in many vibrations, because music is of all different kinds of vibrations. As he is aware of these musical tones and thought processes and words, he is being fed some spiritual thought processes and given the vibration of the song.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Blessings.
You are welcome.
I want to thank you for your time today, your information, and the knowledge that you have shared with us. We are going to bring someone new today. Thank you again.
Much love. I am the consciousness of the Sphinx.
Greetings.
This is a time when my consciousness is upon the land. Not that it never was, it always has been on the land, but it is able to be perceived in a different way, a different knowledge, a different understanding, and a different vibration. My consciousness is your consciousness, and all consciousnesses together are the universe. This is a message that people do not quite understand, for they feel limited in this universe. They feel like they are not part of a greater thing, but yet it is impossible for them not to be. We are all part of the greater thing, more than you can possibly realize, and it is of a way of God to make things this way so that he can commune with all things. For he does not want to let go of any of his creation, and he does not want to be without any of his creation. So he is within everything and everyone, and even the tiniest quirk or molecule or whatever, he is there. He is also part of the mingling of all the essences of the universe and all the consciousness of the universe. They are all one and come together as one. Questions?
With the Sphinx itself, it has been, I guess the question is, was it an original, something first on the head and then changed to something different? What is the reason for the shift in the energies of the Sphinx?
It was once a face of a lion sort of being, and that was the energy of the Sphinx. If you look at the paws, you will see that they are the paws of a lion or a large cat. And so that is the original face of the Sphinx. But through time, some of the pharaohs wanted to change that, and they put their own faces on the Sphinx. It's been changed more than once. And the spirit of the Sphinx changes with that. It is multi-characteristic. multi-personalities that encounter the Sphinx, are within the Sphinx, that are the consciousness of the Sphinx.
What energies do the Sphinx at this time, what energies are being sent out to humanity?
The Sphinx is sending out the codes to humanity that are necessary to unleash the more information from within themselves. Let me explain. There are many hidden things within the Sphinx and the pyramids right in front of your face, but they need to be, they are coded and they are not being able to be seen because the codes have not been given to them. The codes would be a symbol, a note, and a symbol, a note, and a word. And as a symbol, a note, and a word are spoken to these different areas, they will open up. However, the keys to these openings have been lost. So now the consciousness of the Sphinx has given some people on the planet these codes. And so when the time is right, they will go there to open the Sphinx. Most of them are scientists, most of them are archaeologists, and those that are understanding the ways of the Egyptian culture and the Sumerian culture. Also, some that are understanding of the Greek culture from the ancient times. It is now a time where some of these codes and some of these accesses will be granted. I believe the time is coming shortly.
Thank you so much for that. Radha has a question for you.
Greetings. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes. How can I help?
I wanted to find out if our karma is complete.
The karma is complete with the past because it moves itself throughout eternity, cleansing itself as time goes by. As you become part of another body, another being, you are working off your karma and or gaining more karma, but hopefully working it off in order to be clear and free of all different things and learning how to be one of a higher nature, of a higher radiance. But yes, the karma of the Sphinx is no more.
Oh, wonderful news. So I'd like to ask permission to establish a bond at this time if it's the appropriate time.
Bonding is always appropriate. We are all one. We are all together. There is no need for it, for I am already you and you are already me.
Do you have any messages for me to assist me on my path?
Your path is laid before you and is one of light. You must understand that you are part of all things and all things are part of you. And you must understand that you are greater than you seem to be, or greater than you want to admit to be. Many people have expectations of a certain way about who they are, but God's expectations from within are greater than you can possibly imagine. Please just engross yourself in the will of God, and the will of you actually is the will of God. And so you must understand that there are greater things that will come forth, and you are on the path to do that. But remember, God is there to bring out and enhance that which you think is lowly and not able to expand. But you are able to expand far beyond everything because you are everything and you are far beyond everything.
Thank you for that beautiful message. Blessings.
I hope that I am speaking clearly. Sometimes it is difficult to translate into this language all the things that are necessary. I know that the others have had trouble speaking through channels because of their lack of understanding of certain vocabulary that we have. So we are translating as best as we can.
Thank you so much for that. It is, and plus right now with the densities of the earth, it is somewhat more challenging to get the information through.
But I seem to think that you are understanding me rather clearly, so that
Yes.
is good.
Yes, thank you so much. Wendy has a question.
Really, very good.
Wendy. Mhm.
Greetings, greetings, greetings.
Greetings.
The question that I have is related to an energy that's been moving into expression in a physical form. When I am in a quiet time and either after or before meditation or after channeling, or even during channeling, I'll notice this expression of it comes across as kind of like a teeth chattering. So it's kind of like click, 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 click. So I'm not really biting in my teeth, but they kind of repeatedly click. And then more recently, I'll feel this energy around my mouth, a strong energy. And then it starts to come out almost as if I'm practicing for warm ups for choir. So it'll come out as like I'll feel the teeth clicking, the energy, and then it'll start to come out as like me, 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 repetitively, and then and then again. So when I start to channel this, it just flows very, smoothly from one, I guess, chord to another, and I'm trying to understand what this energy is or who this energy is that's trying to be represented.
It's Hathor energy because they're toning beings. Their energy comes, their energy of oneness comes through toning and bringing vibrations of all things into one vibration. And so as you are finding yourself feeling this, you are feeling more of a Hathorn kind of a relationship with the sound and vibration around you. And even the clicking of the teeth are vibrations, and they can cause you to be more harmonious if you can bring them into that alignment in your mind, in your thought processes. And the singing is also part of that. The other thing that I would like to mention is that in your growth process, all of you, I'm not speaking just to you at this time, but all of you must feel the excitement of growth, the ecstasy of growth. Feeling the ecstasy as the radiant being, you must understand that these kinds of vibrations are going to be all through you and make you feel excited, make you feel as if you are changing and that you have found something within you that is causing you a great amount of joy. It may not last for a long time, but it is the beginning of what they call ecstasy. And as you are feeling what you are feeling now with the Hathor thought process, ecstasy is something that should follow that. It should be something that comes through the entire body. I believe some of you have already experienced it in some ways, but I do not know how many of you have. But as you are feeling this, support it, bring it back, let it flow. Let it become part of you. The ecstasy is of high vibration and will bring the radiant being of self into greater focus.
Beautiful. Thank you for that information. I'm sure everybody will be able to use that. And I have actually noticed that experience of high vibration and joy being tied in together.
Correct.
And I could tell that it was like a new energy, and I was feeling very excited about it. But I was like, you get into your head about what is it? Um, so thank you.
It is a new energy for you, but it is not a new energy at all.
Right.
It has already been there. It just lays dormant until you discover it.
Right, very exciting. And then the other thing is that I've also felt that the Crystal Skull, either consciousness or the Council of Crystal Skulls, is also wanting me to begin to channel messages from them. Is there any insight that you can provide on that?
The crystal skulls are connected to the stargates. The stargates are connected to the universe. Of course, the messages from the universe are going to be coming in through all different kinds of ways, and the crystal skulls are no exception. They will speak to you of things that are to come and things that they want you to know, and they are a good source of positive energy and power.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Blessings to you today.
Yes.
And thank you for our ongoing continued connection and joy.
Yes. Remember this, peoples. Everything within you has always been in there. You are just finding it. You are bringing it forth. It has always been a part of you. Everything that you feel, experience, and know has always been there. It's being drawn out by the life you live. It's being drawn out by the spiritual activations that you have. It's being drawn out by God Himself within you. And all these things that are within you have always been within you and always been a part of you, because you are a natural being and you are part of nature, and the soul is part of nature. And some people say, no, the soul is part of God, but God is nature. God is in nature. The soul is in nature. The mind is in nature. The spirit is in nature. All things connect to all things.
Thank you so much for that. What species is the Sphinx from? What species came and brought the Sphinx to our planet? And the reason for it? What was the reason for it?
They were supposed to be what you would call guards. When people would see them from a distance, they would be afraid. They would be thinking that they were large, very large animals from a distance, but they noticed that they weren't moving. But that didn't mean that they were not real, because the thought process at the time was that these things can become real and would become real to protect what is around them. So they were protectors of the uh, pyramids. They were protectors of the people. And there were actually two sphinxes, one facing one direction, and on the other side of the pyramids, there was another facing the opposite direction.
Thank you for that. What species was it that?
They were originally formed from a Lyran species kind of look, I believe, but I am not sure. I feel all the different feelings from all the different beings that were here and around me, and that I have brought forth into my beingness, because all is one and one is all. But yes, the beginning seemed to be more Lyran, and then Orion, and then there was some Pleiadian, and there are many other cultures there as well. There are many that disguise themselves by putting a human body with an alien head. And so their alien heads would be frightening to some people, because they knew that they were not of this planet, or they knew that they were not of human species, but they believed that they were part of the earth in some ways. So it was a very interesting time back then. The Sphinx had many different characteristics and many thought processes and many different feelings.
Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple YouTube questions in regards to your consciousness.
Yeah.
Rosangela would like to know what is my connection to you and the symbols related to you and the pyramids. Do you have a message for me?
Yes, you are connected through past lives in the Egyptian realm, through past lives in the Sumerian era as well. There are things about you that are basically very Egyptian. And one of those things is the symbols. The symbols that you are experiencing within your mind thought processes and within your beingness are those of healing symbols. There are symbols of great power that you look at and you're not sure how to use them sometimes, but others you are figuring out. These symbols are just part of you because they are part of all things, but some people pick up these things in a different way and a different understanding. And the reason for this is that the way of understanding is different for each one. There are differences in the way you perceive this world, differences in the way you perceive God, differences in the way you perceive spirit. And so, as these symbols exist within this realm, you pick them up as a positive identity to move forward so that you can be in the same vibration as these symbols are.
Thank you so much for that. I know you already answered this question, which was what the original, what did the original one look like? So the next question is the Sphinx connected to the Black Pyramids in Canada? And then Steve Helms' second portion of that question is, do you have a connection to him?
First of all, the Black Pyramids in Canada are upside down. They are not right side up like the ones in Egypt. They are upside down. So they have a different meaning, a different understanding, and a different energy as you might think. The upside down pyramids in Canada are actually extremely powerful. They can be used for positivity or negativity. They can be used in interstellar ways, and they are guarded very closely by the species that brought them there. And I cannot tell you what species that is because they will not identify themselves. They are of a different ilk than most species, and they are humanoid, at least they appear to be, when they talk to humans. There is a way to get to the Sphinx underground in Canada, but you must be brought there by these aliens. And some of the what are they called? The people that look for
Archaeologists?
archaeologists. Yes, I couldn't quite get that word. But the archaeologists that go there see the power of these pyramids and how strong they react. And they were allowed in by the people guarding it because they wanted humans to know that it existed. They wanted humans to know that they were powerful, and they wanted humans to know that they can use this energy. Also, I wanted to tell you that the person that asked this question, your connection to the pyramids is very strong. You feel that they feed you, that you feel like they speak to you, that you feel like they are a part of you in some way, in a very different way than most people would want to feel them or see them or understand them. And so, yes, you have a great connection to these pyramids through the ancient Egyptian times and through the fact that you were part of many rituals back then that regarded the pyramids as gods in some ways because you saw how they were formed and you saw how they were created, and it was beyond your comprehension or the comprehension of the people at the time, and it was that you bowed down to them and the people that were creating them. And so it is now something different for you, but at first it was part of your worship.
Thank you very much for that. Is there a Sphinx in Bosnia? And
There
what, if there
is,
is,
yes.
what does it look like?
Well, I would say more, it looks like more of like, it's less animalistic in the sense that it doesn't have the same kind of paws and things of that nature, but it is a sphinx of some form, and I have never seen it with my eyes, but I know that it is there, and it is of very ancient in construction.
Thank you so much for that. Joan has a question. I'm not sure if she can unmute, but let's give it a try.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you. Greetings.
Greetings.
Do I have a connection with the Sphinx also?
Yes.
Is that
Many people here do, because remember, I am speaking from the all and everywhere and all that is. So there are many connections to the Sphinx from different understandings and different perspectives. Your perspective is that you thought that the Sphinx was a great work of art, that it was a great work of precise understandings, and so it was something of awe to you, and it was not a religious figure, or it was not a religious thought process, but it was of great awe to you.
I see. Well, because I have a dream about doing some spiral and the astral or energy work with this, and also because I made my copper pyramid, and I just want to know if what was that energy? I mean, these spiral symbols that I was doing in astral.
They were healing symbols. The spirals are usually deep healing symbols, or symbols of healing, symbols of eternity, symbols of longer life. These are the kinds of things that spirals represent. Some spirals in some species represent eternity. Some of them are healing, some of them are advancement, some of them are representative of vortexes. There are many different meanings, but they are all very positive energy meanings, and they can come with the healing energies. All of the spirals will have healing within them in some way, either mentally, physically, emotionally, or whatever. Healing of the soul, even of the heart. And so these spirals are of great energy and of great meaning, and they are very, very ancient.
That's connected with the Sphinx also.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
You cannot, there are many symbols connected with the Sphinx. You will see many symbols on the sides of the pyramids and the sides of some of the buildings there, or establishments, that have great amount of well, not a great amount, but you will see the spirals there. You will see them on the sides of the building, and they are written by different cultures and species, so they have different meanings as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Is there a final message that you would like to, we're going to bring someone in for the last 30 minutes, someone different. Is there a final message that you would like to share? Because this is our first interaction with you. Is there something you would like to share with us?
It was not my intent to be here, but I saw the opportunity to speak to the all and everything, to the all and everything that is you. And as I am doing that, I will speak formally to each and every one of you individually when I say, you are greater beings than you think that you are, and I am with you, and you are with me, and God is with all of us. I will go now.
Thank you so much for your time today.
We are Ra.
Greetings. Before we go into questions, do you have a statement or anything you would like to share with us?
Yes. This is a day and age of change, for realization, for enlightenment, but only if you take advantage of it. There will be many that will still falter and still not know the light and still not know what is precious about eternity and the universe and God. But there is now time and opportunities to face these things in a different way. Understanding has changed within the last 50 years to an extent that it is now a greater advanced society. But keep in mind, it is also a fallen society. Some of you are enlightened, some of you are coming into the light, and others are falling away from it. Others are not perceiving it and finding themselves in darkness. So if you are of the light, you will shine. And if you are not, you will not see what is there to be found. Seek within yourselves the light that is there, because without your self-awareness of this light and knowing that you can expand and become a brighter light, you will not do so. If you worm around in turmoil, if you stay in your darkness, then that is where you will be. And you say to yourself, I cannot get out of my darkness. How can I do that? And my answer to you is to release it. You say it's not easy to release. I keep it. It's the only thing I have. No, that is not the truth. What you have is greater than what you think you have. And what is within you is greater than what you see at the moment. You may find yourself in turmoil and doubt and pain and suffering, but the truth is, this is only part of the trail, pathway to enlightenment. You must know that your light shines even through these dark times, even through this dark capacities that you have within each and every one of you. But this is the era that is to dampen out the darkness, to bring forth the light into a better way, into a better understanding, into a better truth. I speak from all and everywhere, as you are all and everything, and we are all together. It is time for people to understand, and all species to understand, that this is a changing time here on this planet, a watershed moment that cannot be denied. The pain and suffering must be transformed into that which is greater than what it appears to be. It is time for you to stop wallowing in your own suffering and see with the eyes of eternity, with the eyes of light and with the eyes of truth. For if you do not see out of your darkness, then you will be lost. I am sorry to say that there are many there that think that they are enlightened, but they are not quite there yet. You must grow a great deal more before you are considered enlightened. And even if there is such thing on this planet as enlightenment, it has not come around but rarely. And I see that many of you are full of energy and full of the desire to serve God in some way, but yet you limit him in your own being. Do not limit God within yourself. Let him expand you as you expand with him.
That is a beautiful message. I know that humanity right now is really trying to increase who they are, increase their vibration, and increase their expansion for the will of God, for the will of the planet. And
Yes.
so, how can we do that?
You first must know yourself. The first thing you must know is who you are and where you fit into this place in your fit into your own self, where yourself is excited about being you and knowing who you are, knowing that you know yourself and are able to stand up confidently and speak to the world about who you are and not be ashamed and not be arrogant, but humble still, just confident. You must know yourself first before you can know all that there is to know. Because the first thing you must know is you and God are one, and God is you, and you, with God, you can be truly who you are supposed to be. That is the first step. The second step is to let God expand you and let God bring you into the truth of all and everything, because you are limited in your vision, in your sight as far as spirituality is concerned. Your spiritual limitations are great, and with God, they are not, they are incredibly expansive. They are incredibly beautiful and powerful. And right now, your spiritual vision is just so small. And with the expansion of your spiritual vision, then you can see where you fit in the universe, where you fit into all things. You must understand it is not that difficult. It is a matter of letting God work with you, bringing him in, giving yourself to him. And I know some of you have a problem with that because you don't want to give yourself to anything because you're afraid to do that. But God is someone that you can easily give yourself to and not be worried about the outcome.
Thank you so much. Beautifully said. And I hope that everyone can actually see and work on that for themselves.
Well, I want your spiritual vision to increase. Many of you are increasing your spiritual vision, but still it's very small. You cannot see yourself as the universe. You see yourself just as one individual, or you see yourself maybe working with Gaia and being part of the earth and being part of this planet in a very expansive way. But this planet is but a molecule in the universes.
Thank you so much for that and helping us to grow to be who we need to be in ourselves and with God.
Yes.
Wendy has a question.
Yes.
Greetings.
Greetings.
In the name of expansion, Susan and I are going to have a booth at an event in Milwaukee called Dare to Be Aware. And as we were getting our information and looking at possibly being a presenter, it got submitted ahead of it actually being submitted. So I'm wondering what this energy was that is pushing us forward and how we are meant to expand with all that will be attending this event, what energies we'll be bringing. And oh my gosh, my heart is racing so much from this energy. And if there's anything that you would like to tell us about this current path that we are on.
Yes. If you are on the right path, then the all and everything has been the one that has put you ahead of the pack, has made it quite aware that you are going to be there. Your vibration goes out before you. The thing that is coming out, the enlightenment or the radiant body is coming out and doing what it's needing to do ahead of time, because it is not just here. It's not just within you. It is within you and without you. It is in the atmosphere. It is in the world. It is in the universe. So the powers that be that you are extending out into the universe are actually making connections before you can actually be aware of those connections in the body.
Oh, wonderful. I know we're going to speak on channeling and other metaphysical experiences that we have. Are there any points that you would maybe like us or that our light teams would like us to highlight, or we should just go with the flow and what energy comes and allow?
Allow the energy to come, because you can only speak as high as you are risen. Meaning to say this, you cannot speak above your own understanding. So speak of what you understand, speak of what you know, and let the rest come from a divine place within you. And so in this divine place within you, there is information beyond what you have in your own consciousness. It is there, but it is not aware. And so allow the awareness to happen, just be allowing. And so more information will come from you, from within you, by being truly you with God.
Thank you for that beautiful guidance, and thank you for your continued work with me and all. Thank you. Blessings.
Yes. Be aware. Awareness is consciousness. And consciousness is an important part of your future. That it is something that you must know how to use.
Thank you so much for that. Michelle has a question for you.
Greetings, Ra. Thank you for being here. My question is twofold. Are you a creator being?
Yes. I'm a creator being, as all creator beings everywhere. You can become a creator being no matter what they tell you. Creator beings are out there in one sense, but creator beings are here in another sense. And so you are a creator, and you will be a creator as time moves forward. Creator beings have been created to do certain performances or services, but the creator being you are someday going to prepare you to be in God's presence.
So are there two of you? I mean, I'm just trying to understand your energy. So you identify as a collective. Is there another like specific Ra? You know,
There is. I am speaking to you now as one person. You do not hear hundreds of voices coming from me. You only hear the one. I am the spokesperson for the group, and I am one being. Remember that in a community or in a collective, we each have our own personalities. We each have our own ways of thinking. We can think all together, of course, but remember, we have to be separate to be aware. If we were all one in the collective and all shared just one mind and one thought process, we would not be a collective. We would be one thought process. We would be one being with many minds. But we are many beings with many minds. And we are collectively one mind with many thoughts.
I guess what I'm getting at, do you have a twin flame?
A twin flame is not necessary. I do not look for that kind of an association. Out here, a twin flame would be unnecessary. I do not want to bring myself into a finite relationship with one being.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Safira has a question for you.
Thank you, Angie. Hello, Ra.
Greetings.
So I have tried for many years to release the hurt, anger, sorrow, sadness. And every time I think it's gone, somebody does something hurtful and then it overflows immediately. So I know it's not gone. I have the intellectual understanding of how to release it, but it doesn't work. I don't know how to get something deeper that it really works.
When you feel these hurts, look back with love. Do not feel the hurt in the way that you think that you should. You are hurt because you feel like you are being attacked. But remember, that is not always the truth. You can get hurt by just accident. But the thing is about these sadnesses and sorrows is they can be changed by your attitude toward them. If you take them in and make them hurt and bring them into a sad place, then that is what they will be. If you look at them and check them into a place of love and understanding and saying, I forgive them no matter what they did. I forgive them and love them no matter what. I forgive them and love them, and I am going to be the greater person. Then you become one of a great light. You become greater than you were. You start to expand. You start to believe and know the things of the other realms, of the other worlds. You cannot possibly understand the world that you live in if you are stuck in the sorrows and griefs of this lifetime. If that is what you are going to do, stay stuck in these griefs and sorrows, then that is where you will end up. But you must purposefully turn that around and say, all right, I refuse to get hurt by that. I refuse to be the lower being. I refuse to be the victim. I refuse to be the one that gets beat up. I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to send out my love. I'm going to send out my light. I'm going to be the person that is greater than. That is the only way. Many of you have gone through this. Many of you have gone through the time of pain and suffering and of great understanding of that you are nothing. You are powerless. But God is not powerless, and he is within you. God is within you, and he is not a powerless being. He is the greatest being of all. He is all and everything, and he is within you. You must look for him and find him and bring him out. Do not crush him with all your sadness and pain and sorrow. You must turn it around and let him out for the love that he is, for the love that he needs to show the world. You must be the light and not one of those that are the darkness. So show your light, show your love. I know you say to yourself, I've shown my love and kindness and goodness to other people and it just hasn't worked. It just didn't come about. But you know why? Because there's still all that pain energy on your face, in your skin, in your body, in your understanding. You know it's still there and you go back. It's your security blanket. You say, what a horrible security blanket, but that's what it is. It's a security blanket. You go fall back into it and say, oh, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me. But in the all in all, you're saying to yourself, I can't do it. But you can. But you can. Many of you out there are saying to yourself, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. But you can, because you are all and everything. You must understand that you connect with everything and all things. The universe is yours, but you have to claim it. You have to find it. You have to know that that is the truth and believe it. If you do not believe that it is the truth, then you will just fade away. And what will happen to you when you pass from this planet? You will be a lesser being in the universe. You will not be a powerful being in the universe because you have allowed yourself not to be. You can change that. And you are prophesied to be more powerful than you feel now. They are trying to keep you down, and you are allowing it. Do not allow it. Many of you are allowing it. I'm not just speaking to one. I'm speaking to others as well. You allow yourself to be down, and you allow yourself not to expand because you just can't do it. But you can. That is something else speaking. That is not God speaking in you. God does not say you can't do it. God says you can do everything. God says you are amazing. God says, I want you to be my friend. How can you be God's friend if you are living in that kind of life? A small, tiny, crunched up life. God wants you to be his friend. God wants you to expand and know him as he knows you. And he knows you better than you know who he is. He knows you better than you know yourself. And guess what? You're a powerful person. Absolutely powerful. You have many gifts. You have many thoughts. And yet you're afraid to use them. You're afraid you're going to fail or whatever it is that's stopping you. It is not to be. It is not to be. And you must fight to find yourself. Many of you will have to fight to find yourself. And if you do not have the energy to fight to find yourself, then you will not.
Thank you. That's all it's yeah. Thank you doesn't really
Powerful
cover it,
person.
but I say thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
You are a powerful person.
Mhm.
Claim that power. Claim it.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Rob.
Thank you. We have time for one more question, and we'll have Susan ask that question for you, Rob. Thank you for all those words. I know that a lot of us struggle, and a lot of us are in the existence of this plane of Earth and have struggled them, individually, just with who we are as an individual.
Absolutely.
And so I thank you for showing us that we really truly can be more than what we even have an understanding of. So,
of course, yes.
Thank you, Susan. Go ahead.
Hello, Ra. Great
Greetings.
to speak with you again. So Wendy mentioned this event in May that we're being called to be exhibitors and presenters at in Milwaukee. And I was told through an Arcturian channeling that we're meant to bring our big energy to this event and other events this year to help affect others, but that also to be aware of that sometimes our big energy can trigger others, or others may not be able to adjust to that big energy. And so part of our lesson, I guess, is to adjust our own energy to the level of our audience, so to speak, so that we can meet them at their level, and just we can lower our energy so that others can assimilate it and that we'll become experts in this. So, and it's just more of a temporary process. We can raise our energy later, but as we're doing these presentations and we're looking at other events later this year for ourselves to do, if you have any advice around
yes,
adjusting our energies to when we're sharing messages to others that
You
may not
must
be
go
at our
into-
level yet.
You must go into every conversation, every speech with love and humility. Love and humility. They will understand that you are not greater than them. Whenever someone speaks and they try to overwhelm people, when they try to let them know that they are powerful people, this does not work. You must go into a presentation with love and humility, because they will know who you are by your love. They will know who you are by the spirit that you give. If you go into a challenge like this with I am greater than you attitude, I am going to give you greater information than you've ever heard before attitude, they will not accept it. You must go in with love and humility, because this is where communication starts, with love and humility.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm trying to soften my approach and not like blast people. I know I do that with light language sometimes. It just comes out powerfully, and I'm trying to, yeah, just soften my approach and, like you said, respond with love and humility and compassion. And
You have all these things within you. You just have to be confident of who you are. Because when you become confident of who you are, you don't have to blast people. You can speak to them in a very free and loving tone, and they will respect that. You don't have to prove that you are greater than them or prove that you have more knowledge than them. You must go in with confidence, love, humility, and bring forth the energies of yourself through God that He needs for you to be a lighthouse for Him, a bright light in the world today, because people need awakened, and they will not be awakened with shouting of that I know more than you do. So go in with humble, beautiful information. You have great information. It's just how you present it. That is the problem. I have trouble with presenting information. Sometimes I get on my high horse and I will push the issues, push, but I only want people to know that I love them and I care about them and that I see greater things within them.
awesome, awesome message. Lovely to connect with you, Ra, always.
Very,
Much
thank
love.
you.
Thank you for that.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Ra. Would you be willing to do our final blessing for the day, and then we will bring Jim back and then do announcements. Would you like to say the blessing for the day?
I will do it in my own language first.
Thank you.
Uta, Nikia Vanza, Shanji. Kikua te unzavzua. Irahati, Hota, Mokwiya Neshinje. Shat Hukuakia Kumdianditona. Nanarandisi. Hokowa. Hokuwakasi. Notuturitian Donavas. Fuaka. Inkikwa. Kusikatian do. May God expand within you. May you see His light. May you bring it forward. May you expand into it. For as you expand into God's light, you expand into the universe and into all things. It is time for this change in humanity, for they are always seeking outside of themselves for something greater. And now it is time to seek within for something greater. The time of seeking a God that's far away is past. The time for seeking the God within is now. Be blessed and know that He loves you and He is with you, and it is time for you to bring forth that energy which is he, and which is you, and which is all. Be well.
Much love.
Hello?
Hi, Jim. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah,
How is everybody? We're
great.
good? Good.
Everybody's great.
Okay, good.
I'm going to go ahead and do our announcements, and then we're going to close out today. Just as a reminder, daylight savings time for the United States is tomorrow. So if you've got a session, please ensure that you are on the correct time for any sessions or just contacting your friends. We've got our channeling class scheduled for Sunday, May 26th, 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Cost is $150. This channeling class is for those that can channel, need more information on channeling, expanding their channeling. It can be as much as a beginner to an advanced for this class. Consciousness class is scheduled for Saturday, June 8th, 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. The consciousness expansion is now really beginning to become more of who we are as a person, expanding our beings and bringing everything in for that. That class is going to be taught and channeled by Jim and Gurnani is going to be teaching that class. We have our gathering scheduled for August 8th, 2024, which is an 8-day. So it is on August 8th, 2024, which is an 8, 3/8. The energies are going to be amazing for that day. If you're interested in any of those, please email classes@hucolo.org. I will get any information out to you for that. Jim, would you like to end with anything?
Well, this consciousness class is going to be much more detailed.
Yes.
It's the first consciousness classes were sort of broad thought process. This is going to bring it down to a much tighter understanding, much tighter awareness of it.
Are we as humans with this consciousness, this is another step in our evolution as humans on this planet, and this is going to be a great class to take.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, everyone. Next week, Krishna Priya will be back. Lou Martin will be the channeler next week. And so thank you, everyone. Great questions and just a great energy today. Thank you.